guest today. Are you excited?
Nervous.
You were pretty nervous earlier when I said that you have to do a podcast with me this weekend. But
Always.
I'm taking it easy on you. It's not super scary because I know that you can handle a little bit more of the creepy stuff more than Connor can. But I didn't want to scare you into not ever coming back on.
I don't know about that.
You might not. Maybe I'll intimidate you too much. But for those of you watching, we have a new guest today. This is my good friend Joe. Joe lives in Minneapolis area, so he's up for the weekend coming to say hi, and I told him he needed to be a part of the podcast. It's his first time, a newbie podcaster. Welcome. We're still pretty new too.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
You just react and you talk. But we'll have a lot to talk about today. Do you want your subject? Go ahead and tell you.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about glitches in the Matrix.
Ooh.
Have you ever had something like that?
No.
Me neither. So this is a new deep dive for me because I've never had something super, super crazy that I'm just like, is like the Matrix-esque. It's all been like paranormal. So this is going to be new for both of us. It's going to be fun. I promise.
Just a little deja vu, maybe?
Deja vu. There's some intense ones. These aren't like little deja vu. Like this is intense. There's intense stories people have that I just think are so crazy and I would probably lose my mind over. But we'll get started with our first story. Are you ready? So the first story is, pretty sure I slipped in the shower and died. I know the story is going to sound weird and crazy, but hear me out. I'm not too familiar with this subreddit, but a friend of mine who's always talking about metaphysics, Twilight Zone, and simulation type stuff loves this sub and keeps telling me to post this. In fact, no doubt he'll read this. Anyways, here's my story. 2 weeks ago, I was about to get ready for a party at 6. Before I started getting ready, one of my friends messaged me, super excited because a boy she had a crush on for the last 4 years finally asked her out, and he was coming with her to the party. While I was texting her back, my younger brother walked into my room and asked if I could drive him to his friend's house, which I agreed to do. Then I went to the bathroom to have a shower and do my makeup. So I got in the shower, but when I went to wash my hair, I realized that my conditioner was finished. I was pretty ticked off because I'd only bought it a couple of days beforehand, and it's expensive brand. My younger sister always uses my things, so I knew she used it all. She also trashed the bathroom, leaving water everywhere and a dirty towel on the floor. I was pissed off and was about to get out of the shower in order to tell her off and get some more conditioner. But as soon as I went to get out, I realized the last second that she kicked the grippy mat that we have to the bottom of the shower tub. So as I went to step out, my foot slipped and I fell with my neck down onto the edge of the tub. Time seemed to slow down in my head, and I remember my last thought was, wow, this is how I die? How stupid. But here's the thing, at the moment of impact, quote, I woke up and I start back in my head. I know it sounds stupid and cheesy, but something from a dumb Netflix show. There's literally no other way to describe what happened. I was lying in bed right before I got up to the shower the first time, but I don't remember falling asleep. And the thing is, I've been a lucid sleeper for the past 5 or so years, and if this was a dream, it was way more vivid than anything I've ever experienced. That weirded me out, though. Was that the same exact friend who texted me the first time, and she messaged me after I woke up, and the boy she had a crush on to ask another girl out? She was pretty bummed about it, but I didn't want to come to the party. I was weirded out that there was some similarity between that and the dream, but I didn't think much of it at first. As I went to reply, my younger brother came in and asked if I was taking him to his friend's house. All of the blood drained from my face. He just stood in the doorway looking confused and asked me what was wrong. I rushed into the bathroom feeling like I was losing my fucking mind and went to check the conditioner bottle. I know this sounds pretty crazy, but the bottle was just finished like before and the grip mat was kicked up. At the point, I went to lie back down in bed and texted my friends to tell them that I won't be going to the party. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it could have been a concussion and they just blacked out that whole time and went to bed, but...
But then, why would it repeat itself?
It just sounds
Did you wake up in your bed with no one saying anything to you? No way.
It sounds a little sus. I mean, the brother, I don't know on the brother part. That's the one
She
that
was in
throws it
her
off.
room and she went to go get ready with the brother asking. And she
Yeah.
slipped and fell in the shower and hit her neck on the tub. She woke up back in her bed and started replaying the exact same thing. This is like a oh gosh, what's the movie? Final Destination? It's like a Final Destination type thing. Where they live their death and then they avoid it, but then they go back and the same thing happens.
Was that Final Destination?
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of them.
I haven't seen one of them. I just know never
many of them.
Drive behind a semi with logs.
That one's scary. That one gets me every time. I will never. No, I don't
pass.
risk it. That's intense, though. I wouldn't go to the party either. I think it's interesting that the boy she had a crush on asked another girl out. I liked how that was different.
Could be a different reality. Maybe she's not even in her.
I wonder if she died in one reality and skipped over to another, like an alternate universe.
It's possible.
That's something to think about. Because that seems a little bit more like, I don't know. Instead of like a lucid dream, I feel like that's more possible. Because a lucid dream, you kind of know it. Because I've lucid dreamed before.
If only I had dreams.
There's a comment that I think is super interesting. It says, "This is actually a personal theory of mine. I've never had a time jump so blatant, but I've had something similar to this happen multiple times, in fact. My theory is that if you die, things reset. The world in which you did die, everyone remembers you dying, but your consciousness isn't done yet, if that makes any sense. It jumps itself to a nearby timeline to protect itself. When your consciousness finally goes, it's going to go where it's supposed to." That is interesting. That's kind of what I said earlier.
It could be an alternate reality.
That's what makes the most sense to me. I mean, I don't think it's the lucid dreaming, but that's scary. That's so scary. Man, that little sister, she's going to get a talking to.
That's life.
No, that's terrifying. Imagine dying because you broke your neck falling in the shower.
Maybe we've done it several times before, and this is just the reality we know now.
That makes sense for you. I can picture that for you. That sounds like your death.
Ouch.
I can picture it. Is there a way you want to go?
In my sleep, no pain.
Man, I don't know. That would suck too. It's like sleeping's my favorite thing. Just to fall asleep and never wake up again, man.
Well, you wouldn't know any better.
I suppose.
Once you're dead, you're dead. It sucks for everyone else around you.
Like, at least want a chance to say bye.
Well, yeah.
Everyone does.
That's why you say good night to everyone and bye after you leave them.
So every night I'm going to text you, fuck you, good night.
I could see it.
Just a good night.
I'll expect it.
Good night Snapchat, if you will. I'll be just my middle finger.
Yeah.
Just good night.
It's reasonable.
I would. Well, are you ready for our next story?
Absolutely.
Okay. This is kind of similar to what we just talked about. It's another bathtub. That's the deal. I don't know how this happened.
I think you might be afraid of your own bathtub.
I've almost slipped and fell in the shower many times. I'm like, wow, if I would have fallen right now, Connor would have to carry my dead body out of here.
Well, maybe you need to get a grippy mat for it.
I don't like grippy mats. They feel gross to me.
I mean, yes, they feel gross, but you got to replace them every once in a while too.
And then you have to clean them.
Yeah, just replace it.
No. I'll just fall and die. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Anyways, my bathtub overflowed. Long-time lurker, but I've never posted on here before. It's 4:45 a.m. I woke up a few minutes ago, but not a slow wake up. I literally jolted out of bed. I heard a sound of water rushing, but I live in a 4-bedroom apartment and my window is cracked, so it took me a second to place the sound. I got up to investigate and realized the sound was coming from my own attached bathroom. My garden tub had overflowed and the water was still pouring out of the faucet. I went to bed at 12:15 a.m. I know this because I obviously remember that, but to back it up, I had unopened texts from 12:32. No alcohol, weed, drugs, or any medications I haven't already been taking for months, prescribed anti-anxiety. So no mind-altering substance would have explained this. No history of sleepwalking or waking. The tub had overflowed and on the floor, all around it was wet. But I hadn't spread past the bathroom of the tub, which makes me think the faucet had only been running for long enough to fill the tub and spill over, which definitely would not have taken 4 hours if I had turned it on before bed and gone to sleep. So I didn't do that. What the hell just happened? And then there's an edit. Many of you have suggested sleepwalking, but I have no prior history of sleepwalking myself. But my cousin does. I will be getting a camera set up to check this out. Some other users have asked me to look into carbon monoxide levels in my apartment unit, which I will be doing tomorrow morning. We have many smoke alarms, but I'm unaware if they measure carbon monoxide as well. Once I get more details tomorrow, I'll add another update. And this was posted 2 days ago, so there actually should be an edit soon, I hope.
So we could be seeing results here soon.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be along the lines of carbon monoxide or just sleepwalking.
Why would it be carbon monoxide, though?
Depending on the levels, it could affect. I don't even know how that actually works on the body.
Maybe I'm just not very smart, but why would carbon monoxide cause your bathtub to overflow with water?
Well, it wouldn't cause that. It would cause you to have little mental lapses while you went to sleep. Yeah. But the sleepwalking is probably the most likely.
That's what I would think, because you can say, oh, I've never done that, and it's not going to be me. I think that's actually something pretty reasonable for this person. Yeah. Because, it's not crazy. It's not super out there. It's just, it's weird.
It happens.
So thrown off if I woke up and my shower was turned on. That's crazy. That would throw me off really bad.
The other option, it could just be someone being a menace. They didn't lock their doors. They went in there, turned on the tub, and just left.
Yeah, let's walk into this random person's house and just turn your tub off.
College kids.
Is that what you did in college?
No. It'd be a good prank on a friend, though.
I would pick something a little bit better to prank other than a tub.
You don't know. It could work out.
I do think there are some things that can be explained in this story. I don't think it's super out there, but I would be really curious to see if they did set up cameras to see if it happened again.
Yeah.
I want an update. I'll have to check back in a few days and see if there's an update.
It could be stress throughout the day, just cause sleepwalking to trigger for some reason.
That's just it. People underestimate exhaustion and how it affects your sleep.
Yeah.
Exhaustion really affects it. You get weird dreams, they're more vivid or they're not. It changes so much.
Yeah.
Depends on what it's about too.
Could have been slight cold or something as well, throwing that off.
Yeah.
It's the only time I end up having dreams and whatnot is when I'm sick.
I have dreams all the time, as you know.
Yep.
Well, I think this one's pretty explained, but I hope OP is good. I hope they have another update soon.
Hopefully there's no carbon monoxide.
Okay. Well, third and final story. A former coworker is back from the dead. This is one of my biggest personal glitches I've ever had. I work in the admitting department of my local hospital, and I also help the business office with some miscellaneous billing duties. One of the things I do is keep track of the obituaries. When someone's obituary appears in the newspaper, I check to see if they still owe the hospital money. If they do, I clip the obit, fill out the form, and then keep track of how their insurance pays and whatnot. A few years ago, one of my coworkers in the dietary department retired and passed away soon after. I know because I processed her obituary. This coworker's daughter was really good friends with my cousin. So the daughter was even over at my cousin's house the day after my coworker's funeral. They had a big wake for her mother and everything. Today, as I'm working ER registration, the daughter comes in and says her mom is in the ER. I was brought up short. I thought, what? I didn't say anything for a moment. So my office mate had to step in for me and look up at this lady's mother. Sure as shit, it's the woman who died years ago. My office mate lets the daughter back into the ER to see her mom. I'm unable to find the obit form I filled out. And there's a couple edits here just to follow up with the story. I heard back from my cousin. and he's as weirded out as I am. Coworker's daughter has no memory of the wake or anything, but she said that she's been getting this stuff from people around her from the past few days. People remember her mom dying, even funeral details, and but the coworker's daughter doesn't remember any of it. Plus, her mom is right there. It's freaky. Then she spoke to the cousin instead of texting him. Coworker's daughter said it was her dad that died and not her mom. But she also said that it's not the way any of the people who run into her remember it. They're asking where her dad is, how he is today. He's not answering any of his phone or texts. And to her, this man has been dead for 10 years. I've been asked if any of close calls or moments where I could have slipped from one universe to another, and yes, there was one. It was a little over 2 years ago. I was getting my evening medications together, but I was tired and screwed them up. I ended up taking an entire bottle of glipizide, which is a medication that lowers your blood sugar. I accidentally took enough to kill a horse. I realized it right as I laid down for a nap due to extreme exhaustion, and I felt really weird going to sleep. Looking back on it, I think I fell asleep forever there and woke up here. Wow.
Huh. Yeah, that one might just be a different reality. Well,
that's
our
the
reality.
Only way that I can think. But I'm just so confused how several people remember her mom being dead. Even a good friend.
Yeah.
Like if my mom died, like you would know that. You would know. You would know if that happened, and that's something that you would remember. And then it's like me coming back in a few years and being like, my mom never died, my dad did.
Maybe it's a case of shapeshifters or aliens.
I don't know. This one's really got me.
Because that one, there's too many people who it's a different reality for, so it's only the one family that's affected.
I wonder if there was seriously just a glitch in realities where the daughter shifted realities with the mom. So number one, I don't know. That's the only thing that
anything is
of.
possible, but I could see one person, a group of people, a little more iffy on that.
I'm thinking like the grandmother and the daughter switched realities.
Yeah.
And it messed up the reality that they're currently in. That's my best guess. I don't know.
That one could just be maybe it's shapeshifters and they're not even the real people anymore.
I don't know. Shapeshifting, I don't know if I'm a believer in that necessarily. I don't know if it's for me. But I think it's just so interesting. I don't know.
That is an odd one.
It's just I don't get it. I don't get it. If you remember filling out the obituary and you're going through and then all of a sudden the lady's standing in front of you, it's got to be I know I've said this a million times this episode, but it's a glitch in reality for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And maybe it's going for internet karma.
I don't know.
It's a good story.
I don't know. I hope they post an update here soon so we can figure out.
When was this one posted?
More. This one, maybe not. That was 4 months ago.
Oh, probably not getting anything there.
Well, they already had 6 edits to this because they also posted the story of how they overdosed on their medication.
Yep.
That also might play a big factor in it. Because you took enough to kill a horse, you should not be alive.
That could be. But also, everyone else not realizing.
Yeah, the other people are screwing with me. I think this might be just a true glitch in the Matrix. I don't know.
It's possible.
This might be a true glitch. Because I think the others we've kind of reasoned through, but to me, this is very glitchy. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll have a big update. Should I check that person's profile quick?
You could.
Let's see. I don't see anything, unfortunately. That's too bad. Maybe one day. Maybe I'll message them and just see what happened. Well, anyways, thank you for coming on and
It was fun.
reacting to my stories that I threw at you. I appreciate it, and I hope I didn't scare you for next time.
Can't scare me with these.
No, I didn't scare you too bad. You're not traumatized.
No.
We'll have to give you some podcasting lessons to make you a little bit more comfortable. We'll teach you how. Buy a book.
I'll make sure I come up like 4 months later.
We'll see you 6 months.
Get
from
out
now.
of podcasts.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
It was fun.
See you guys.
Bye.